Shannon, and I am an animal intuitive and sensitive, an animal communicator, and a Reiki master practitioner with animallovelanguages.com. And I just now realized, I'm looking at myself here on the video, and I realized I am totally rocking my Texan look today, which there's no particular reason for that, except that we just happen to be Texans, right, my love? This is Pearl Cutts, my 23-year-old feathered sidekick. He says, yes, I'm Texan by way of Australia. Thank you very much. I migrated there myself. Yeah. As if, okay. So for the last few days, we have been unpacking the topic of listening, right, Pearl? Really listening to our pets or to the animals we work with at the shelter or at the training facility or at a zoo or wildlife center or to the wild animals who share our space. And how when we listen in the way animals want and need us to listen, that this is truly unconditional love in action. Now, if you've missed the last few talks in this series, you will definitely want to go back and listen to them as well. For now, yesterday I talked about how deep listening, which is the type of listening your pets want and need you to do, is a different form of listening than the type of listening most of us typically use. Just like your phone typically probably defaults to a particular browser, maybe Google, maybe Yahoo. Every time you click on a link you want to visit, your ears default to a particular receiver when they hear a sound input coming in. In this case, they typically default to your left brain with its language processing and analytical problem-solving abilities. But just like you can go into your phone settings and you can change the default browser from the one you have now to one that you think is going to work better for you, so too can you change the default receiver that your ears use to listen with. And this is how you start to access deep listening. So as an animal communicator, the receiver I use to listen to animals with is the receiver located down in my gut. This is where what some call the sixth sense and others call the first sense, because it's the sense that's already awake and active when we're born. This is where it lives, and it's called intuition. Literally in. It's our inner wisdom. It's our inner learning. It's our inner teacher. Now, have you ever listened to someone talk and the words coming out of their mouth sounded good, but you were still getting a bad vibe? This is a perfect example of using the receiver in your gut to listen versus using the receiver up in your head to listen. When you listen with your head, you just hear words, words, words. When you listen with your gut, you will hear so much more. You will hear the emotion. You will hear the intention behind the words. You will hear the energy of what is being said and shared. But isn't it crazy to say we can listen with our gut when everyone knows the language processing center is in the left hemisphere of the head brain? Actually, no, it's not crazy, not anymore. It's backed by science. If you listen to medical researchers talk about the vagus nerve, you will learn that science supports the presence of a gut brain that can receive and process sensory input on a variety of levels. The vagus nerve runs up and down the center of the body. It connects the head brain and the gut brain. And guess which way 90% of those neural links run? If you guessed up, you are right on track. Yep, most of the information being exchanged between the head brain and the gut brain is actually coming from the gut to the head and not the other way around. And what this tells us is that if we are truly listening, and by this I mean deeply listening, we will recognize that the sounds our ears are hearing go to the gut first for processing, and then they head up the vagus nerve and land in the left brain hemisphere for processing into words. And this forms the basis for how animal communication happens, interspecies communication, the forgotten language that most of us don't even realize we can use and have access to every moment of our lives. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video to learn a lot more about that. Also, be sure to head over to animallovelanguages.com to explore all the fun free resources I've created for you and your pet to enjoy together. For now, lots of love, and I will see you tomorrow.